Yes, folks, what's happening? And welcome to our new home away from home. As I mentioned earlier, we are at the Wish Lounge. You can see the neon lights are on, the mics are on, the lights are on, the guest is here. And this is the Friday Night Lounge. Today, we've got none other than the amazing Afrobeats North London artist that goes by Myles Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, there he goes.
Wait. Yes.
What's happening?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
How you been?
Yeah,
How's your
I'm
journey
happy,
in?
man. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
You
You're
know,
welcome. Well
to add,
overdue, I reckon, as well.
yeah, it's way overdue.
Well overdue.
But to add to, I do also like hip hop.
You do
R&B,
hip hop. I should have said hip hop, dancehall, Afrobeats,
everything,
juices, does
music.
everything.
I do
We
music.
can't give them too much at the
Yeah,
beginning.
I do music.
That's it. They do music. How was your holiday?
It was amazing.
Yeah?
It was crazy, man.
Coming off that holiday buzz, innit? You got that
Oh
glow.
man,
You got that
like
holiday glow still following you around.
yeah. I was in Dubai, man. Like,
Yeah.
had a great time.
Yeah. Business or pleasure?
A bit of both.
bit of both,
Yeah,
yeah.
a bit of both. I had like one of my friends, Stag,
Okay.
out there. He's an artist as well.
Say no more. I know the golden rule when it comes to stags is what happens at stag, stay at stag days.
You know, I can share that with everybody. You know,
You won't mind, yeah?
I mean, I'll give you the exclusive.
Okay. We're hoping for the exclusives today. That's why we're here, isn't it? To
Yeah,
chop
yeah.
it up. And to talk up things, talk all things music. I beg your pardon, of course. And you've obviously just dropped the latest release, which we'll get to in a minute, Two Roots, featuring the main sake, which is Scorcher, and Boachie. Is it? Am I pronouncing it right?
Boachie, yeah.
Boachie.
Yeah.
And how did that collab come about? Was that organic, or was that something that come about, or was it planned? Sort of, you kind of delved into it, or was there like already a relationship there, a working relationship?
It was very organic. Actually, like before, I went to. Me and Boachie went to Holland. We went to
Okay.
Amsterdam.
Okay,
And
as you
it
do.
was, yeah. It was like, you know, I was working. I'm like signed with like Cloud9
Okay, DBF.
publishing out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
DBF
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
And you know, I went out there to do some
Amazing.
ghostwriting, basically, innit? So
Okay.
the song initially was like written for an artist in mind and stuff, right?
Okay.
So
So initially it wasn't.
yeah, initially it wasn't.
okay.
Yeah. So that's like kind of my background,
Okay.
you know, songwriting,
Okay.
A&Ring.
Okay,
And
so
then-
you've dabbled in the songwriting and the A&R, which we'll get to as well in a minute. I've done my research today, so
Yeah.
you got Miles
Well
answering all the questions
He's
before we
well
get to
prepared.
it.
He's well prepared.
Listen, Nardwell's got nothing on me, but yeah, we like to do our research here on a Friday Night Lounge.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit more, because you touched on the fact that you dabbled into the A&R a little bit
Yeah.
with Cloud9. So
And DBF.
you're a content writer at the moment, right, with Atlantic Records? Is that still the case?
No, so what it is that I work just before I was doing a lot of like ghostwriting and,
Okay.
and obviously when I was doing the A&R inside for the publishing company, it was like we had a lot of artists that came from various record labels.
Okay.
So some might be signed to like Warner, some might be signed to Polydor,
Got you.
and various different you know, labels.
Right.
So from there, it was just like building working relationships. And
Kinda happen organically, like
yeah,
you said,
happen
yeah, of
organically
course.
and creating content for some of the artists.
Yeah.
Some known, some who's just trying to get their foot in the door a bit more. I guess, you know, signing a deal is one side, right? But there's a lot
It's
of
the word
artists that
happens after.
it's what happens after. That's just
Yeah.
people think that's the end, but that's just really
That's
the
when the work
beginning.
starts.
That's when it starts,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So when their work starts is
Yeah.
when they were like, "I'll get the calls like, hey, I got this guy, or
Yeah.
I got this girl, or this group that's coming in. We want to get you guys in
Yeah.
together to do a session." So
Okay.
that's how it happens. So to go back to the song,
Yeah.
I was just creating the song with Tom Martin, who's the producer.
Okay. On Too Rude.
On Too Rude,
Okay.
yeah. And me and Boachie initially put our verse down, and
What did it feel like being? I suppose I'm jumping the gun here, but being on the other side of the coin, as the artist. It's obviously.
yeah, I think it's I've always been doing music before, right? I
Okay.
started off doing music,
Right.
and then I got pulled into the ghostwriting.
Okay, pulled in. You say pulled in like it,
Yeah, because
like it wasn't meant to be.
well, it wasn't my plan.
Okay.
You know, it was like, I don't want to drop names, but
Okay.
you know, an artist at the time, he was like signed to Atlantic,
Okay.
Asylum, and you know, he was like, oh, I've got
Yeah.
I've got this record I need help with,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So, I penned his part,
Yeah.
and then it ended up like going like number 3 in the charts.
Okay.
And then from that point, then it was just like executives and A&Rs and different people saying, "Oh, I
All
want you to
different,
write for this
elements,
person, write
a
for
lot
that
of moving
person."
parts.
Yeah, yeah, and that's how I got pulled into it.
Okay.
So that's why I say pulled in.
Right.
Right. Otherwise, I would have kind of
Described that
stayed down
perfectly. Yeah.
the artist lane. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, you know, it was just kind of like understanding the
Yeah.
back end and just speaking with different A&Rs, and they were like, "Hey, you know what? You've got the ear for this. Like, you've got the eye for this. And not only that, like, you pay a bit more attention to the business side." So from that point,
You have to be well-rounded these days.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
have to
just a
be.
case of dropping music. You now have to be strategic with when you drop music, who you're dropping it with,
Yeah.
how you're releasing it. There's a whole sorry to cut you off there, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I think the business side came when like I became familiar with the language that was used.
Okay.
Right.
You started hearing sort of certain trigger words.
Yeah, certain trigger words
being
and
used,
certain
yeah.
things, you know, that are put into contracts. So
Yeah. When you hear
360
365,
deals,
360
and
deals.
360 deals and stuff like that.
What's the deal with that? Because obviously, just break it down to us as to, I suppose, the pros and cons with a 360 deal. Just because obviously you've got, some experience coming from where you're coming from. Just to break, I mean, I understand what the 360 deal is, but just obviously to our audience.
Well, I think really like it got to a point where like I think it kind of started around the Napster point, when Napster started to come out with a lot of.
You've triggered an old memory there. Boy.
Yeah. With like all these downloads for
Yeah.
free, and then labels started to like lose a lot of the revenue
they caught
and
wind
stuff.
of it,
Right, yeah. So based on the digital market and how things moved, it was just like, okay, we need to like participate in the merch and the shows and
everything else
just to make it make more sense on the label perspective.
They understood that more comes with the music.
Yeah.
The branding side of things.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, it's like, imagine if Kim Kardashian could rap.
Oh, God forbid.
Do you get what I mean? It's like, you'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
That'd probably be the apocalypse, man. I'm going to be looking for the 4 horsemen. The day that happens.
but the merch and
but that's the day
the
and age
merch
that we're
side
in.
is there,
Yeah.
right? But then you got people that can rap, but they're not as marketable.
They're not as marketable.
Do you get what I mean?
yes,
So then
yes.
it's like you have artists, example like let's say Kanye.
Yeah.
He's got the same marketability as his wife.
Probably does. Would you say one has more than the other? So Kim probably has a.
Yeah. But I think when I say that, I don't mean like in a sense where to gauge one against the other. I just mean like in a global scale.
Okay.
Right. Yeezys and like
when it comes to the
all
money as well.
Yeah, hitting the billion status and all of these different things is like part of what's gone out there, right?
Yeah.
He has to share it for us to know it.
That's true. It's true. It's him using his own stem player as well.
So all of these different things, Jay-Z with Tidal and
stuff,
and all these different
you
things.
can see technology playing a bigger role and a bigger part in music and the way music is released and the way it's shaping music as well.
Yeah,
that is playing a bigger and bigger part. How do you see, I suppose, music or technology playing a part in music? I know the day and age we're in now. Like people, I think, touched on the fact that when they want to release their songs or projects, you can release it digitally for NFTs, for example.
Yeah.
So do you think the lane that we're in or the way things are heading, we could see more of that happening later down the line? People releasing digital, well, it's happening now, but...
Yeah,
it's
of course. Like really, we've only touched like 2% of the digital world.
That's crazy. 2%.
You're right.
That's crazy.
2%.
But it seems like 100%.
Yeah, like it seems.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a big situation right now. And now like streaming is pretty much how quite a lot of artists are beginning to.
Yeah, the revenue.
Yeah, but also like there's a lot more artists that have ability to be recognized more so. Before, it was like you had to be picked.
You
and
did.
then there's only a certain amount of people that are getting rotated on MTV.
Yes.
Right?
It's
and,
true.
and remember the box.
Oh, the box. You're
Right?
bringing
And
back memories,
all
mate.
those kind of, you know,
You
channel,
could only fit in a certain
channel,
amount.
you got to
Channel
throw in
U.
AKA and you, though. You know,
You as well.
you
They're
gotta keep all
staples of the
these.
culture, man. Of course, Channel U is a staple.
Yeah, that's
of the
part
culture.
of the
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
part of the culture. Do you get what I
Obviously,
mean?
R.I.P. to people like Jamal Edwards who shaped the
Yeah.
culture to what it is today as well.
Yeah, R.I.P.
How do you manage? Obviously, you touched on it already a little bit, but how do you manage the day-to-day stuff with the A&R? I mean, you said you dabble a little bit in that at the moment, or you've done that back in 2019 with Cloud9.
Yeah.
Is that an
And
ongoing
DBF.
thing alongside with your music as well, with releasing music, sort of thing, or?
Well, again, that was like I was approached. For
Okay,
it. Right.
but how do you manage that sort of now? Sort of, obviously, because you're an artist,
Yeah.
right? So obviously, you've got to prioritize
Well,
your creative.
Yeah, there's a big team.
Big team.
Yeah,
I saw.
there's a big team of us. You
Team
know,
is important. A
and
good team.
you know, like the team is the cabinet.
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
the
That's
cabinet.
what the cabinet means.
Yeah.
Okay. On the bio, if anyone didn't see it,
Yeah.
Miles has the cabinet on his bio.
Yeah.
I did a quick Google search, but I couldn't find any. with the
Yeah.
cabinet. But yeah, no. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah,
so
the
team,
cabinet.
obviously, it's important to have a good team around you. It's not just a
Yeah.
question of having a team, but how do you pick and choose? What's your team made up of? Is it made up of family, different people you've worked with in the past, or?
Actually, is a pool of executives.
Okay.
Yeah, not just here, but also stateside.
Okay. Did you
with-
consciously decide to have representation, like people who are executives already, because who understand the music, who understand what comes with it?
Of course, that's just a logical choice.
You would think so, but
Yeah,
some
you
people
wouldn't-
obviously
I
include
mean-
their family members. Some people include their friends who they've known, stuff like that. To
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think that.
a bit of both.
Yeah, you have a mixture of
A mixture.
things. I think you know, as long as the person has the best interest
At heart.
at heart,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Do you get what I mean? And you know, also if that person's, you know, putting their life on hold to support your
To support
dreams,
you,
you
of
need to
course.
like make sure that they're good too.
That they're looked after.
Do you get what I mean? So
Definitely.
it's about like, you know, not only having the business but also having like the respect and loyalty.
100%. So Miles, earlier you touched on where you've performed before or where you'd like to perform. Buckingham Palace being one. Shout out Lizzie. It's her birthday on Saturday actually. Give me where else have you performed? Give me another place. Anywhere else? Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Wicked.
It was like the energy was crazy.
It's in Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh, big up Sheila O, Afro Zones. We've got a syndicate show there. #1
Big
Afro
up.
House show.
Oh,
Afro Beat show.
amazing.
What was that like? The energy must have been crazy.
Energy was.
Crazy.
It's like I didn't expect to see such a crazy reception.
And the
But-
love as well.
And the love, it was absolutely like not what I expected. Do you get what
Which
I
is a
mean?
good thing.
Yeah,
In a good
Because
sense.
and the reason why it wasn't what I expected is because, well, I guess to be fair, I did kind of tailor the music for that style of things.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because when I went out there, I was doing like some sessions.
Okay, so you create it is a beat and a track that you actually made in Chicago.
Yeah.
Sick. You've created it
and
for
worked
the
with Chicago producers and worked with the people out there. Do you get what I mean?
How long
It's
were you
like
out there for, if you don't mind me asking?
3.5 weeks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 3.5 weeks. And
You
then,
work quickly.
Yeah. Like I could do like 3-4 songs in a session.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Easily. It's not difficult. It's
Yeah.
just more about whether I'm in the mood to do it or not.
Yeah, it's that mood again.
Yeah. It's whether I'm in the mood to do it or not.
Have you ever been in a mood to, because you said your early years, you obviously started rapping, right? 10 years old, performing it for Lizzie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rap. So obviously hip hop is your first love, right?
Yeah.
Would you say?
Hip-hop.
Did you perform?
Yeah, before performing, I was doing like battle rapping.
Battle rap, okay.
Yeah, so I was doing a lot of the battle raps.
That shapes that really shapes you.
Yeah. Because it was about being
Jump off?
Nah, it was more on
Okay.
the roads. It was like streets.
Oh, snap.
So I was going
Okay.
like from different ends to different
Yeah.
ends and just battling people.
You ever partake in risky roads back in the day?
No.
Yeah.
It was more like I saw Risky
You
Roads
mean literally
more as,
on road?
Yeah, literally on road.
That's old school.
There's bare man them around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my favourite battles
Yeah.
was with Black the Ripper.
No way. R.I.P. Black the
R.I.P.
Ripper,
Black the
man,
Ripper.
for
Like,
sure.
I think we battled for about 3 hours.
Where did that battle take place?
In his ends. It was in Edmonton.
Archway. Edmonton.
I think, yeah, Edmonton.
Edmonton. Yeah.
So it was like, it came around where...
Set the scene for us. Yeah, what year was it? What was the weather like?
Alright, so these times I was about, say, 17.
Okay.
17, and...
That's always the year that everyone has their battle. That's always the age, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those
and
rebellious teen
nobody
years,
can tell me nothing, I'm the best. Yeah.
Yeah, which is the mentality, again, that you need.
Nobody can tell me, and I still think that way. And it's like...
That's a winner's mentality, trust me.
Yeah. It's just how I am, you know. No parent raises the child to be number 2. So like,
well, you might have to release a book with all these gems today, honestly.
Yeah. You get what I mean? But
yeah.
I have to say that he had the same mentality.
He did, didn't it?
Yeah,
he was
definitely.
a hard worker,
Like,
man. Shout out Dank of England as well.
It was
man.
3 hour. It was a 3 hour battle, and how it came around.
A 3 hour.
It was a 3 hour battle. It was a 3 hour battle. It was absolutely sick.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Are we talking back and forth?
Back and forth, bar for bar.
With other people involved.
Bare people.
Okay.
Like people came in and out from my team and his team, and then everybody kind of like
who set this
ran
up?
out of bars, and then me and him kept going.
Ran out of bars. You telling me you two had bars for days, basically, to that?
It was. Them
Well,
times,
you would do it. You're 17.
Them times,
you've got a lot
times,
to talk about, a lot to get off your chest, didn't it?
Listen, we were going bar for bar, and it got
especially
to the point,
growing up in North London.
It went dark.
Quickly,
it went dark, innit? And we had to stop because a couple of people.
Oh, it literally went dark.
It went dark.
Okay.
It went dark. It was daylight and it went dark. Yeah. And then we had to stop because a couple of people had to get night bus. The last one.
You telling me the N29?
N29, 279,
Yeah.
259.
No way.
Nah, it was more towards the A10 side.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you get the 217s
like
and
up
stuff
north,
like that.
North. Yeah. Further north.
So how it happened
That's
was
crazy, man.
I was in college and I was.
This would have been 2000 something, innit?
2004.
Yeah.
Like
Early
that.
2000.
And then I was in college and I was battling everyone in there.
That's crazy.
Killing.
That's crazy.
And then sorry to cut you.
Go on,
One girl was like, "You think you're hard, innit? you think you're so hard, innit? You think you're sick."
Of course I do. Why else would I be here? That's what you should have
like,
said.
You think you're so sick, innit?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I can put a battle together that you won't win. I was like, put it together. He's like, you sure? This was a girl called Janine. She was in my class.
Janine.
Big up Janine still.
Yeah, but look who's got the last laugh now, though. He's got the last laugh now, though.
Yeah.
Now, big up yourself.
So then, she's like, she called him.
Yeah.
I didn't know of him or anything about
of
him
course.
at that point. It was just, I just knew Janine, innit? She was in my class.
So what were the rules in place?
There was no rules.
No rules.
There wasn't any rules. So anyway,
Crazy.
she's like, okay, cool. So she's brought me up to this side of Edmonton where it's like A10 side, just before, like, it's like near Silver Street kind of.
Yeah.
But like not so close to it. Do you get what I mean? So anyway,
Just off it, basically.
Just off it kind of thing. On one of these side roads.
Yeah.
And then I've gone there, and then
I'm literally, as you're telling me, I'm picturing it.
this is crazy. Like,
I'm picturing a bunch of teenagers in a circle like this.
I'm saying this is like one of my fond memories.
Of course.
So he must have I must have got there. It was there. It was waiting now, and then I just see this guy with like long hair.
You're like, raw.
And he just walks up now.
And that would have been your first experience, first time meeting him, innit?
He goes, yeah, first time meeting. This is the first time I ever met him.
Yeah.
And he goes, who's Miles?
Literally drew you out.
He's like, who's Miles? And she goes, him. Boom, started the spraying at me.
No warning.
He started spraying, no warning.
Yeah, he was about it, man.
I was like, yeah.
Is that what you're on? Is that what you're on, Black? Yeah.
But my face, I wasn't like that.
Yeah,
obviously, I was just like,
yeah.
okay, no, bars ain't gonna phase me.
But he was focused, man. He was
someone
that was focused.
When he started spitting bars, and I started listening to what he was saying, I was like,
cool. I'm ready for you. You're
it wasn't
picking
even
your
that.
head.
It was. I was actually clapping.
You were taking it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was
you're
clapping in my mind,
appreciating.
and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a good battle.
This is gonna be good.
This is good.
So, what's her name? Janine?
Janine.
Janine was onto something then.
Yeah.
She was onto something.
So he started spraying and spraying. Then he was spraying and spraying and spraying.
And he wouldn't stop.
Yeah, he wouldn't stop. He kept going.
Didn't even take a sip of water,
He
nothing.
didn't stop. He sprayed at me. He came in the introduction, and he sprayed
But I've
at
heard that
me.
about Black. Sorry to cut you off. I've heard that about him. That when he battles, he doesn't stop. He just goes in. He rolls off.
He keeps going. He was spraying.
He doesn't do the stop-start thing.
Yeah, so he was spraying for 5 minutes.
Jeez.
About 5 minutes he was spraying.
What could you do? I suppose you just
Huh?
you just stand in it. You got to give him his moment, innit?
Nah, when he was spraying,
Yeah.
I was listening. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I wanted to hear the level he was on.
Yeah. I hear
Right?
you.
Because I was like, is he good? And when I was listening, I was like,
How long before you
he's
realised? How far in?
Huh?
How far in? Like he went. How far did he go into his bars before you realised? Yeah, this
About
guy.
8 bars.
Did
Within
you?
the 8 bars.
That's all it took.
Yeah, because it was punchlines. I get punchlines, innit? I love punchlines.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So I was hearing the bars and that,
Yeah.
and the metaphors, and I was like, okay.
You were deep in it. You were deep in the metaphors, innit?
And I was
And
like,
you know, for somebody who lacks metaphors, like you said, you have an appreciation of a minute.
yeah. But at the same time, it was like, you trying to kill me off with your bars, blood? Like,
With my own.
you trying to kill me? All right, cool.
But it is battle rap, innit?
Yeah. So,
And you know what, as well, I suppose approaching it like that, it brings out the best in you.
yeah. And then I came
And it brings out the best in him.
and I sprayed for 10 minutes.
Swear down.
10 minutes I sprayed. Because it was just because of the way he came in.
Principle, innit?
Principle,
Nah.
like, nah, 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the 10 minutes, he thought, okay, he sprayed for about 15 minutes.
No wonder it went to 3 hours, bro.
Yeah. Then I was like, yeah. And then after that, someone else, and
That's crazy.
I think there was a girl there
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
with. I'm not sure if it was his sister or a friend or anyone.
Yeah.
But she jumped in and started spraying, innit?
Crazy.
And I was like, this girl can spray.
Crazy.
And then
Talent
my brethren
galore.
jumped
The
in.
talent that was there
Yeah,
was
my brethren
immense.
jumped in, started spraying.
Now everyone's involved.
Now everyone's spraying, yeah. Everyone's spitting bars.
Now it's a
and
cypher.
bars.
It's a cypher now.
Yeah, then he jumps back in and he comes directly to me again.
Yeah, because he's like, I ain't lost focus,
So,
you know.
he comes directly, like,
Yeah,
he's got his
sick,
aim
sick,
on me.
sick,
He's
sick,
trying
sick.
to knock me off, innit?
Yeah.
And I got my aim back at him.
Mad.
So we was going back and forth.
Mad.
And then,
The only thing I regret for you is, actually, I don't know. Does anyone have it?
I think, I don't know, it might be recorded
But because of the time, you know, the year
Yeah,
where
I
it
think,
was.
no, but people were carrying, there was one brother, he had his camera phone and
Yeah.
stuff. Not camera phone, they had like these little cameras.
Got to try and get them out.
Yeah,
bro.
these little camera things. I think,
Try and get a hold of it.
yeah.
Because those tapes like that are gold now, man. Especially the way we touched on
I
earlier.
think maybe Nux might have it. I'm gonna have to speak
Snap,
to Nux.
okay.
I'll see if he was the one recording.
Okay.
But-
Big up Nux as well.
Yeah,
Alpha
big up
House,
Nux.
sick project.
And then after that now, I was spraying back.
Yeah.
And then from there, we had this. There was this mutual respect.
Of course.
And I didn't see
You're
him
going to
again.
have respect
Yeah.
for somebody you've battled for 3 hours.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
going to be mutual respect.
Yeah, for him, he won. For me, I won. Right? And because
that famous Jay-Z
it didn't stop. It just didn't end. There was no conclusion to the battle because it just everybody had to leave, innit?
Yeah,
Right?
there was
And
no
even
end.
when bare people left, there was about 2 people left, and we're still spraying at each other.
Crazy. You know what it is? You just have to put it down to both you lot being winners, man.
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And then,
100%.
but then I saw him in Hackney in an event.
Or
like,
after that battle.
After that battle, about maybe years after the
Yeah.
battle, and he stood next to me and he was like, "Myles, remember that battle we had?"
You have to remind you.
Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, I got that in it." He said,
Yeah.
"Nah, you didn't, bro."
The
I was like,
debate
"Yeah,
didn't stop, basically,
I did. It didn't
until-
stop.
yeah,
So we still
I
had
love
that competitive
that. I love
energy,
that,
and then
man.
after, like,
And you know what's amazing for you? You've got that memory now.
yeah.
With Black the Ripper, do you know what I mean? That you can keep. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, man. R.I.P. Man. He's
100%,
such
bro.
a genuine soul.
He
and
had so much more
yeah,
work
man.
to do, bro.
So much love for that
more
guy.
work
and
to do, bro.
Yeah, man. More.
Shout out Dank of England.
Only love.
100%.
Only love.
100%.
And R.I.P. bro.
But if we're talking collabs,
Yeah.
you know who I see you with? I don't know what it is, but it's that Afrobeat side of Too Rude. I can see a CK or a Stoneboy type
Yeah.
collab You mentioned just off air NSG.
NSG would be dope.
Yep.
I think
I mean, everything they drop
got
is
like-
gold.
Yeah, Rema.
Rema's
Would be dope.
proper dope.
You know.
I think those type of...
Yeah, it would create a
would bang.
crazy vibe.
It
yeah,
would.
yeah, a really good vibe and stuff. And also, like, you know what it is? It's not just about the music. I can kind of see what they're doing back in.
No, you've got it. There's a vibe
in
in it.
back in like in Africa and
Yeah.
how they've taken the music back and stuff. You
They
can only
have.
take your hat off to that sort of thing as well. And you know, me being somebody that's like very empowering.
Mhm.
You know,
What where you from, sort of traditionally? What are your roots? Sorry if you don't mind me asking, Miles.
I'm Jamaican.
Jamaican.
I'm
Okay.
originally Jamaican, but it's like so I had like a Nigerian stepfather,
Okay.
right? He was there since
So
I
you
was
grew
like
up on
young.
that saltfish and ackee and jollof. You're like
Yeah,
sitting
so
here
I've had like both cultures in the house.
That's crazy.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're like
It's probably why you're so spiritual and laid back.
you hear, it's like you'll hear my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
start talking pidgin. They'll break out.
Snap,
in the,
no way.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Just
cool.
out of nowhere, the
So-
pigeon just comes.
So then, like from there, it's like
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
family and everyone.
Yeah,
So, like, I've been going to like Nigeria from
you
when I
have?
was young. Yeah,
Wicked.
yes. I got family there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like going there, going to.
Is that somewhere, well, Jamaica being another one, is
Jamaica.
that somewhere where you think to yourself, well, that's one of the places I was going to ask you is where you see yourself performing? Because a little birdie told me that you performed at Buckingham Palace. Not recently at the Jubilee, not to confuse people, but a little birdie told me, yeah. How did that come
guy
about? Well,
doing his research.
we'll get to where you see yourself performed in a minute, but did you perform at Buckingham Palace?
Well, I've done 2 different occasions for the
Okay.
Queen. One was a
Was she there?
performance before. Yeah, she was there.
Snap,
One
okay.
was a performance before, and then the second time was creating content to be performed in
Okay.
Buckingham Palace, and that was
So
more content
in
creation.
2 different formats.
Yeah, 2 different formats. So
What
yeah.
was that like? And what was it for, if you don't mind me asking?
It was for the celebration of young people in the arts.
Okay.
So it was like to celebrate all the young people that are like.
Was it a charity affiliated project or
No, it
Okay.
was like
Just
just
a
a
celebration.
just a celebration to
Okay.
show recognition
big?
to like people
Creatives.
in the creatives in the music world,
Yeah.
in the performance world.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Whether it's music,
So
singing, dance, whatever.
What did you perform, if you don't mind me asking? Well, how old were you?
The first time I performed, I was like. The first time I was probably about 10.
Okay.
10. And then the second time when it came round, I was like.
Everyone's got those homeschool videos in it when they were younger and they first
Yeah,
performed.
yeah.
I saw one
Like-
of Gigs and who else was he with? Somebody else. But they always float about in it. One day I think someone's going to find that video.
Yeah, someone's going to find that video,
Yeah.
you know.
If we find it first, you don't know.
Yeah. Put it on the Netflix.
One day it's going to
One
be
day,
worth
innit?
something.
And then the second time, it was creating the content. So
Yeah.
that was like when I was about 22.
Okay, so a big gap between.
Yeah, big gap
Yeah,
between.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not like me and I have a good relationship. Like,
Like,
I'll
yo,
go and have,
Lizzie.
yo, Lizzie. Yeah, I mean, like with the money. Like,
Yeah,
I see her
Lizzie.
every day, but she don't see me, you know.
Oh, it's hilarious. But it's hard to top that, isn't it? Performing at Buckingham Palace. But mind you were 10 years old, and obviously it was for a creative, and obviously it was to do with the arts. But
Yeah,
touching on...
the first one was she
Yeah.
actually came out to
No way.
yeah.
Was
to-
she vibing? Was the head
to
bobbing?
Hornsey? She came to Hornsey.
Oh, she came to Hornsey.
Yeah.
Where did she come to?
She went to St. Aidan's.
Big up St. Aidan's. What is
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
A charity or?
It's like a school,
A
primary
school.
school. That's the
Okay,
school I
cool.
went to.
Okay, big up St. Aidan's.
Yeah.
You've done a good job.
Yeah.
Wicked. So that's an experience, I can imagine. So it's hard to top that, but do you see yourself performing in Jamaica? Maybe a quick Kingston
of
performance,
course,
a quick
of course.
Lagos?
Anywhere. Everywhere.
What's the ideal location? Someone said to you, boom, Miles, we're going to put a show on tomorrow. You can pick one place in the world.
You know what, yeah? I like performing in those kind of like boiler rooms.
The intimate settings.
The
The jazz cafe, the
like,
kind of settings.
Yeah.
Got you.
And like
I can
really
see why you said that though, because of the person.
Yeah.
Just sitting here with you for about 20 minutes or half hour, I get that signs. the sense that you like to connect with the audience. Obviously, you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
you
yeah.
touched
But
on
then
that
also, like, if it was to be something like O2, then
earlier. Well, you're not
like,
gonna
I
say
know
no
how
to that.
yeah, I know how to kind of like do the set
Galvanise,
designs and stuff like that, and,
yeah.
and how to like really incorporate different technologies to give
Do
a
you
different
think?
performance.
Do you think how you approach a performance at these two different venues, one being an intimate one
Be
and one
two
being
different
O2,
performances.
so your approach has to be different, right?
It would be different.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What are some of the, just you, because obviously you, again I say this to you because you've got the know-how of being behind the scene and understanding what it takes to put on a big show as well as putting on an intimate show. What are the key factors or the differentials between the two, do you think? Because intimacy, I feel like you don't need a screen behind
I
you.
mean,
You don't
the
need
key factor would be the budget.
what, baby, money, baby. But the money being in
Right.
the bigger performances, right?
Yes, but
Or
it may
maybe
not.
not.
It may not be
may
because
not
you
be,
may
yeah.
you may just have like example, right? I remember I went with one of my friends. He performed at T4 on the beach.
T4 on the beach. Oh,
Remember, like
UK.
Yeah, UK.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like you go there. I was like backstage.
Yeah.
So everything that I've seen everything from the backstage, from the behind the scenes perspective. So I
Yeah.
have a better understanding.
Exactly.
Now, do you get what I mean? If I
Exactly.
never saw everything, then I wouldn't have that knowledge.
But that's why I think you benefit.
Yeah, that's why I benefited from it. But looking at it from that
Yeah.
that standpoint, it's like you go, you do your set, and there's maybe not much room for them to do a
To do
huge
other
set.
things.
Unless you're like the headline act,
Yeah.
where you go and then they can do everything in that
Around
sense,
you, yeah.
around you, then it changes.
It does.
You know what I mean? Or if you're doing your own concert,
Yeah.
then you got your rehearsals, you can do all these different things that you can bring in.
Speaking of which, I didn't bring it up. You did. Can we expect a headline show at some point? Maybe when a project drops, at the back of a project, possibly. Maybe not this year, next year. Do you see yourself doing that in the near future?
Yeah,
Is
of course.
Is that the plan?
Of course.
Yeah?
I have no limitations to my success.
Exactly.
The only person that limits me is me.
No truer words have been spoken. You heard it.
You know what I
here.
mean? Like at the end of the day, like well done's better than well said, and
You're dropping gems on us today, boy.
yeah, and you know what? Like it's like the way I see it is, a goal without an action plan is just a daydream.
Oof, because it's not on paper.
It's not on paper. You're not
Until
you're
you
not-
put it on paper. I
until you
always
put
say
it
that
down,
to people. Yeah.
and say, okay, this is what I'm going to be
Exactly.
doing, right?
It becomes real.
Then it becomes real because
Yeah.
then you're taking from what's in your imagination to reality.
That's the next stage.
That's
the
the next
manifestation.
stage. That's the manifestation, right? So
Exactly.
you're writing it down and you're saying, okay, cool. Now that when it's on
Boom.
paper, you're actually reading it, right? Because it's like the only way your brain connects with the outer world is through your senses
It's true. And obviously your visual being one of them.
and your visual. Do you get what I mean?
100%.
It doesn't directly. It's like
So you somebody that jots everything down.
yeah.
Like you've got an idea
Not
in your
everything.
head.
Not everything, but
So
like
let's say you've got an idea in your head, whether it's from creatively,
Yeah.
that you think, oh, this would, or this little sound, or this little trick would sound well, but you want to remember it, or you want to, what would you take notes? Do you? Because I know you said when you're in the studio, you like to work off freestyling.
yeah.
But you could be out and about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if I'm out and about, yeah, I definitely will make a note of something.
Yeah. I bet if I open your phone, if we checked on your phone in the notes section.
Man, I got random notes. I might hear a song,
Yeah.
and I like the record, and I
Yeah.
write down the
You
name
write
of the
it down,
song,
yeah.
or Shazam it, screenshot
I think
it.
everyone's notes, or everyone who's a musician or a producer, I think everyone's notes are like that, or
Yeah.
most people. Or if you want to remember it, you would, unless you've got a really good memory.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely like to take the notes because sometimes when you're in the, say like, it gets to the point where, I start to, really develop out the album.
Yeah.
The level of creativity that I have
Yeah.
will be reflected,
It will be, yeah.
and how I get my creativity is through life experience,
100%.
not just by living, but also by witnessing and looking at different things and understanding perceptions.
Your environment is your experience.
Yeah,
isn't it?
my
Your
environment is my experience.
Exactly.
I live where my body is.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Jeez,
So
the spiritual side there.
anywhere, yeah. Hashtag spiritual.
Hashtag spiritual.
Hashtag spiritual. Spiritual M. Trust me.
There you go. Just before we obviously wrap things up, how would you kind of sonically describe your music? Because obviously I know from listening to it, because my ears, everyone's ears are sort of exclusive to themselves, isn't it? Just like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
I always take that approach with music as well. I say taste of music is in the ear of the beholder almost, because I could listen to a track. It could be defined as Afro, it could be defined as dancehall.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's what the artist is going for. So I never take the true definition of what Wiki gives me. So I listen to something and I think, you know what? In a nutshell, I'd say it's like a fusion, a dancehall Afrobeat fusion. Too rude. But how would you describe your sound sonically?
I would say it's that mixed with hip hop.
Mixed with hip hop.
Yeah, and it's
Is the rest of the body of work that you're kind of working on for the project, ultimately, are we going to get a taste of variations of you, basically?
Yeah, I think it will be a variation type of thing, but utilized sonically in the same line.
Okay.
So it's not too too left.
I see what you mean.
Do you get what I
Somewhere
mean?
in the middle, not too far left,
Yeah,
too
not
far
too
red.
far left, not too
Red,
far
right.
right. But at the same time, I might just feel like, you know,
You
forget
might
it.
switch it up on us.
I'm just gonna do it. Like I just feel like it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just what I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
How
whatever.
far in are you into the project? Can we expect an album or a mixtape? What's a little exclusive? What can
I think we're gonna probably go with like an EP first.
Okay, cool.
Like do an EP, and then from there, then we'll probably look into the album side of things as
Wicked.
well. But the EP could be a slight reflection of how the album could be. Do you know what I mean?
Are you looking
Or
to work
completely different?
with different people on the EP? The features, or is it?
I'm thinking about it. You know what
Yeah.
it is? It's like,
Mate, some of the best albums, legendary albums, happen off the back of no featers.
yeah.
So like,
that's
Nas
that's
being
kind of
one,
like.
right?
I mean, I've done a mixtape before.
Yeah.
A mixtape Madness, which was like, I think like #1 for like 8 weeks
Okay.
with no visuals, just audio.
Is that online?
Yeah.
Okay, you might have to feed that through.
Yeah. So that was just, it's called 1632s.
Okay.
You know, it was just like no hooks, just punchlines,
Just straight up raw.
just bars.
So you started off rapping,
I'm a rapper.
rap.
Yeah.
But obviously sonically as well, you've got the melodic rap as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to go back into that bag?
I've never left the bag.
Never left that bag.
It's just more so.
But how do you determine, right, cool, next week I'm going to sit down. Do you have to listen to the beat and, you know what, I'm going to be a bit more melodic on this one? Or I'm going to go straight rap
Again,
on
I
this?
just go into whatever I feel like
Yeah.
doing. I'll just
the zone you're
freestyle or
in.
whatever, and then it'll just come that way.
Yeah.
It's not about like trying to pigeonhole myself, right? Because music's so diverse nowadays,
100%.
and there's so many different avenues and directions to go. So rather than looking at it like, oh, I'm doing different genres, it's
Yeah.
just Miles in a different format.
Yeah, it's Miles in a different format, in a different setting, and a different, yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
But it's the same
But
Miles.
it's the same person.
Yeah,
do you know
I
what I
hear
mean?
you,
It's
I hear
not
you.
like trying to change up the type of artist I am, or trying to be like, okay, now he's reggaeton.
Oh, now he's giving us
Yeah,
reggaeton.
now he's
yeah.
No, it'll be Miles who's
Yeah.
on a reggaeton, but I'll do my turn,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
twist,
yeah.
and how I would approach that type of sound.
Yeah. And I think it's a good way to look at it, because I think obviously, depending on what your music taste is, whether your music taste is eclectic and what your ears are drawn to, that's going to determine the type of music you put out, right? Because you could be listening, on the way here, you were just saying you were listening to a certain track, right? And
Yeah.
it put you in the zone for something, you know, a little exclusive later, people. But, so it's kind of based off moods for you.
Yeah.
In terms of like, okay, you know what, I'm in my rap back, but yeah, I'm in this mood, so this is the approach I'm gonna take, kind of thing. Okay, cool. We touched on where you'd like to perform, so Jamaica and Lagos is definitely up there, yeah. As potentially,
definitely. How can I not do that? Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
especially with the scope or the grip. Well, that's the wrong word. The pull that UK music is having today,
yeah.
more so than ever. You get more people kind of, you know, globally messing with our music, man. You got Americans coming over to collab with us,
Yeah.
whereas before it used to be the other way around.
Well, I've like performed in Chicago.
Oh, snap, Shot Town.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chi-Town.
Okay.
Shut it down.
Big up Afro Zone, Sheila O. We've got a beat syndicate there. So
Okay.
yeah.
Big up.
I'll put you on the plug with her.
Yeah. No, literally shut it down. It was crazy.
What was the crowd
Absolutely
like?
What?
Yeah?
The crowd was wild.
Chicagoans love their music, bro.
Man, like...
What year was this, if you don't mind me asking? I'm just trying to get the taste of what music was popping then.
This was like...
Was it the drill days? The Chief Keef?
just after that.
Okay.
So it was more recent.
More recent?
Yeah, so
okay.
Probably about 2 years, 3
And
years.
what was that like? Crazy.
What? Like people shaking their dreads, jumping up and down, like they were just. It went off. It went crazy.
What
I
did
had
you,
to
which track?
when I mid performance.
Yeah.
I almost like stopped to be like, bro,
You had to take it in, right?
Yeah. Like, you're
I
giving
love
me
that
this,
you did that.
You're giving me this energy.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Let's turn it up more now. Yo, DJ, let's drop that one.
You kind of notched
Let's
the
go
level.
for that record.
Yeah.
Now. We're gonna do that one. Now. Like that's the record. And when it dropped, mosh pits.
Straight up.
Crazy. It was like.
Which track was it, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh,
was there any of the releases
this
that
is
you've got?
unreleased.
Unreleased stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I performed my songs basically I made out there.
Snap. Okay.
Yeah. So I went there and created music just for the market.
Did you create it for that market?
Yeah, I just made it for the market. I was like, okay, I was out here. I was like, the stuff that I got
how long were you out
really
there for? Before you decided, you know what, cool, I'm gonna start making music.
I was out there for about 3.5 weeks.
Cool.
3.5 weeks.
So you thought, let me take in the landscape.
That's what I do.
See
I
what
like
shot
to.
down people are saying.
Yeah, I went down there. You know,
Quick R&D.
I was chilling with some of the artists.
Yeah.
I was going to like the studio where like Boachie goes and stuff.
Okay. Just taking it
other
in.
people. Yeah, and then I met Curtis Young.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
so talented, man.
He's a brother now. Do you know what I mean? So like now me and him are doing like a few bits as well.
Yeah.
And then you know Crashane, he's 6'6",
Is he based in Chicago?
He's actually Jamaican, but he's over here as well.
Okay, cool.
He had a big record in Consider It Out as well, and me and him done a collaboration and performed.
Wicked. So you're kind of spreading your wings. And,
yeah.
Back then now.
It was a shutdown. Like it was absolute shutdown. It was crazy.
Yeah. That's it. And you know those experiences go a long way because you take that experience and you bring it here, you bring it home, and then straight away it's like boom. Oh, I remember I made this. Like that.
Yeah.
Chicago has a very particular sound. That's what I'm trying to say, right? They've got their own sound.
Yeah. See, I'm laid back now, but when I'm on stage,
like
it's a different. There's a lot of energy that comes with me.
Yeah.
I'm a very, very, very energetic person.
You need
on stage.
the energy.
Yeah, I love performing.
Wicked.
I've always kind of come from that background anyway.
So we can expect to see you performing more.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
You heard it here, people.
Yeah.
Myles, it's been an absolute pleasure, bro.
Futs.
Thank you for coming down. Obviously, open door policy. You know, the Beat London 103.6 FM. We got love for you always. Come down, let us know. Any new projects upcoming.
Big up the Beat, big up Futs again, and thank you guys for having me on this show.
Oh, give them your socials. Your socials.
Yeah, so 1 Myles Brown, Myles with a Y.
The track is out now, Too Rude.
Too Rude's out now, featuring Boachie, Scorcher.
Boom.